Live from Rock and Roll Mine in Middleville, Herkimer County, New York, where we're finding Herkimer diamond scepters in Middleville. So, we were just in a live, and we were having some technical difficulties with our sound, and hopefully that has been remedied, and we are back to normal. So let me know if our audio settings are back or if our audio is still no good. Please, in a comment. Because we were having some audio difficulties. Good. Okay, good. I don't know, sometimes I think if I try to get the comments to come up on the screen, for some reason it shuts off the audio, which I don't understand that, why it would do that, but it does that. So that was an unfortunate event. And anyway, we were checking this out. You guys probably already saw it for a while, and you couldn't hear a damn thing that I was saying, but I was just saying that this is pretty cool. And in Middleville, the folklore is that there's only been one scepter found in the past at Ace of Diamonds mine by a well-known miner. Found one scepter, and quite a few crystals having had been found at Ace of Diamonds. I've found roughly 10,000 Herkimer diamonds myself, and I've never found a scepter in Middleville before. So in the InterScepter Pocket, we found 13 scepters. This is the largest one, and it's a black carbon stem scepter, which is a traditional scepter, and these scepters have been verified by professional. That is not me. I am a professional, but I got a second opinion and also a third opinion. So to me, there's not very much of an opinion needed. It's clearly a scepter. But the popular people who find scepters frequently, I showed it to them, and they said, "Oh my gosh, only one other person has ever found a scepter in Middleville." And this is a pretty fantastic Middleville scepter. The largest one. And it's got the clearest window into the stem of the double termination side of this crystal, which is essentially basically this crystal. They're confused. It's one, but it's two. What's interesting about this one is that if you turn it around in a different way, the black stem is not as prominent as you might think, or it refracts a little differently. So, if you're just tuning in to rock and roll, and you're not familiar with this channel, or if it's your first time coming here, this is a pretty crazy discovery for me personally. But these are really, really nice. This crystal comes out of a pocket that was discovered, and it was named InterScepter Pocket. by one of our super friends here at YouTube, Kiki. And a bunch of people, not a bunch, but like, some people who were interested in the subject, they voted. And a bunch of names came up. People had great names. And a bunch of people submitted names. And then I made it a vote. So all the same people got to vote on, or anybody could have voted. But the people who were interested are probably the people who voted. Let's be honest. And there was probably 10 people, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, we like to keep our circle small right now, okay? Naming pockets and stuff. So, we all voted. I voted for InterScepter. I didn't even put a name in. I guess I'm not allowed. I mean, I guess I could if I wanted to. I can do anything. But I thought InterScepter was pretty perfect from the start. And so my vote went to InterScepter. This is a good one because you can actually see, the inside of it. It's got a good clear window. It's like Middleville perfection meets Little Falls perfection, this crystal, in my opinion. And it's not only just because I found it. If someone else showed me this, I would be like, wow, that is the best of both worlds. It's got a little bit of matrix on it still right there where it was touching the rock. This came out of a hard rock section of the mine. This wasn't attached when I found it. It wasn't attached to the rock. It was sitting like this on the floor. And they all were just sitting on the floor. And there's another smaller one. And it's got a very similar black carbon stem. And it's a smaller crystal. But the stem is about the same size. But it's just a smaller crystal. They're like brother and sister, mom and baby. They have some relationship to each other. They all do. We found 13 scepters in this pocket. Some are small. And then I found a bunch of things that I'm calling them wands because they're like scepter-y, but they're more like little clusters on top. And then it'll have something here, and it'll be like clustery all around here, and then one end will be here, and then another end of like this crystal would be out of the other end, and then it's like all clustery all up in here. So those I'm calling them wands. I don't know if they already have a name. I don't know. But at rock and roll, we're calling those wands. Things like that. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. Ask questions later. Who do I even ask? I don't care. Who's gonna ask me? Oh, why do you call it that? Well, then I'll just tell you why I call it, because it looks like a wand. If this is a scepter, then that could be a wand. It's like a smaller, like magical still version of like of a thing. So it's a little bit different. Who knows? But these are verified as being scepters. True scepters. Because I have in the past found things and been like, oh, maybe that's a scepter. And it's not. Because sometimes you just get excited, And that's fine. Curiosity is good. Gives you a little boost of energy, and you think, oh my gosh, what if it's that? And you get all excited. And then you do your research, and then you learn. And I did that a few times. But when I saw this, and then you can, I mean, it's got a clear window right through it, and I'm going, oh yeah, there's the black carbon stem part of it in there. It's a pretty self-explanatory thing. But I still wanted to have some other people say, yeah, that's what that is. And you just want other people to get excited and say, cool thing. Especially if that's what they're really, really super familiar with, and then they can give you an idea of, is that a nice one? Is that not? Is it that, like, what? Is it okay? A little bit of an idea of the value, maybe, or the rarity. Not the value in terms of money, but the value in terms of its rarity. And like I said, I think I found around 10,000 Herkimer diamonds here at Rock and Roll. And I found only one this size, one smaller one, so that's 13 little, it's one big nice size, good size scepter in 10,012 Herkimer diamonds. Because 12 of them are scepters. Look at how nice that face is. That's all these faces leading into it are just so incredibly perfect. So it's just a crazy thing. And I've never seen a photograph of the other scepter that has been said to have been found. I don't know if I can find a photograph or a video, or if anyone knows. Look how perfect those faces are together. It's just incredible. So if anyone knows of some footage of that scepter, look at that. That's just wild, man. If anybody knows about that footage or has seen that video, or if I'm guessing there's probably not a video, or any photographs of that scepter, that would be cool. Link me. Put it in a comment. Let me know. I was told by people who really know a lot about scepters in Herkimer County that it's kind of a weird history-changing event to have found a whole pocket of these. But that's what happened. They're pretty cool. Most of them are really tiny. Some of them are only as big as the stem of this one. And there were quite a few other gems in that pocket that are very different and very clear and very perfect and have a shape that looks like a dice that you might roll in a game, like Dungeons and Dragons. They have like that, you know, 7-sided dice kind of like shape. How this has a lot of, you know, faces. Imagine just, you know, smaller version of this top crystal, but like perfectly clear. Like no real carbon inside of them. They're just very, very, very clear, and kind of a pretty cool shape. So yeah, that's that. still shot, so you can see it without me. Trying to catch the light on it. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell when it's looking right on the television because I'm just on my phone. So there's always like a glare. Can't really see it when it's glared. Okay, well, it's good to be back to be able to broadcast live again. Hopefully, I'll be getting my new phone today, which is an iPhone, I think 11 or 12. I'm not sure. That's what I was told. It's an 11 or a 12. I'm not sure. And then he put it in the mail, and he sent it from Canada, and so we're expecting that it's going to be much better than my 7, which is what I'm currently running. Laugh as you will. I'm going to go and grab a cigarette, and I will be right back. In case you're just a little sick of looking at this scepter, let's check out this piece on matrix. Little cluster. So in other unrelated news, during the 2 weeks that I was not broadcasting, I was locked out of my rock and roll Gmail account, and there was a password loop happening, which has been fixed. But there's just a weird tech loop occurring, and my biggest pet peeve with Google is that they don't have anyone to contact for support. So you're kind of just out on your own doing whatever you can do. And that was a pretty frustrating situation. So whatever you do, try not to have that happen. But while during that 2 weeks, I was doing a lot of small engine repairs, and so I got an injury on my leg, which has stopped me from mining a little bit, but not really. But yeah, I was taking a heavy machine out of my truck and slammed my leg into it when I was coming down the ramp, and that really hurt. And so for a couple of days there, I really had to lay off the sledgehammer and stuff, and have a pretty big gash in my leg. So that was a bummer. So that is more news from recent times. aside from that, really just a lot of work has been done on that area of the mine over there to take all this was kind of way out here like this, take all of that down, out, taking quite a bit of dirt and rock, removing all of the larger rubble from that area and all the larger boulders to get back at this working face area that, like, from here to here was not exposed at all. You can see where it's a little wet, and even some of that above that, which has dried out. But that's been the plan, is to get back at some of that working face, get some of the areas uncovered, headed back down, straight towards hell. There's a lot of dirt in that whole area. That's a pretty big area, maybe 20 feet. Foot by 20 foot square, and just exposing that working face again is a job in itself. It was all tailings, big heavy boulders, and now it's all over here. I added membership options to the channel, and I haven't been able to do anything with that yet because I was locked out. But I will be adding some different things, different perks, different posts, and some behind the scenes footage for members of season 1, this season, season 2, videos that I hadn't uploaded before, maybe some conversations with me, some safety meetings, some things like that will all be added to the membership aspect of the channel. I'm still going to do lives. Some people have left comments or or asked if the lives are only going to be done in membership option. And no, I'm still gonna do lives for like how I do them now. There may be some membership lives that are, for members, chats, things like that. Safety meeting chats that might be members only. Maybe some mining days will be members only when I know I'm going to get into some really good stuff. I'm going to uncover a pocket or something like that. Those will be for live, members only. But I'm still going to continue to do normal lives, and I'm not going to try to lure anybody to be a member of the channel because they fear they're missing out on something. I don't like that. I don't like the FOMO approach. So I'm just going to say that if people would like to support the channel, that's a good way. And there are going to be some things that are going to be over. And I'm not going to not mention those so that people wonder what they are, or either. It's kind of like if you want to add to the channel and say, hey, maybe instead of tipping in the super chat or or buying a T-shirt, or buying a crystal, or or whatever. If your way to support is to be involved in that membership option, I like that idea, because that's cool, and then it's like a kind of ongoing support, almost like an executive producer kind of thing, like where it's like you're going to add into you want to see the channel do overall good, because any of the money that I make from this channel is probably going to go back into the channel, especially for the first, I don't know, couple of years, because I don't have a lot of this equipment and stuff. I have mining equipment, and that's what I spend my money on. It's mining equipment, food, and paying for the property. So any of the channel money that's raised is probably going to go back into the channel, with getting like microphones, which some people are saying that it's hard to hear me. It's because this phone sucks. And so now I'm getting a more upgraded phone. The funny thing is, it's upgraded, but it's got a broken screen. So I'm going to have to get the screen fixed on an iPhone 11 or 12. We don't know which. It's up in the air. I'm going to let everybody know what it is when I get it, because even I don't know. See, that's a mystery. That's interesting. What is the phone going to be? I don't know. But it's a much needed upgrade, and videos are going to look a lot better, I bet. Because it's one of those iPhones that has the two cameras. Now, I don't know if they work in conjunction with one, if one's the video camera and one's for something I don't know yet, but because I've never owned one. I have a 7. We're broadcasting live from a tin can right now. I have a machete plugged into the ground. It's grounded, and then from the tin can it goes to the machete, and then it goes to the satellite, and then back down to you. So it's a little fuzzy on this phone now, because I think I've dropped this phone so many times that it's just destroyed. Alright, well, let's go see if we can find some of these Herkimer diamonds. Maybe we'll look around at some tailings. Maybe we'll... It's super smoky here. That's the other thing. That up there, that's all the smoke. Look, you can just stick your hand right into the smoke. Down your arm's gone. And it's just like, where did it go? It went into the Canadian smoke. So good thing Canada is sending me a nearly useless iPhone, because I feel that I deserve reparations for this smoke. It is thick today, and I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the real smoke issue. Look at it. We got no sun. We don't even have a sun anymore in Herkimer County. It's just smoke. I mean, I think it's hauntingly beautiful. I don't mind it. I kind of like it. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I mean, I like that. Okay? It's a little Twin Peaks. For me, that's good. I'm into it. Still haven't found my Laura Palmer. I don't think it's, maybe they still haven't found Laura Palmer. That's what I meant to say. They still haven't found Laura Palmer. Shit, maybe this YouTube video is gonna get blocked now because I said Laura Palmer. I emailed Angelo Badalamenti one time, expecting to never hear back from him. And he emailed me back the next day. I thought, wow, that was fast. And it was him. It wasn't one of his friends or an assistant. And I know that it was him. Oh look, that looks better. I came out of the smoke. Now I'm on the mountain. I'm a little bit above the smoke. Still pretty blown out looking, but where do I want to go with this? I got the infrastructure in my hand, you know what I'm saying? I got all my tools over here. Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about start your own worm farm. Go ahead. Just do it. You know? Worms for your garden. Just take one of those garden trays like that, put some dirt in there, and every time you find a worm, throw it in there. And eventually, upgrade them to a different vessel that's larger. Let's see if we can find any Herkimer diamonds together. This is what I've been doing. I've been taking this is one of my favorite tools, by the way, of all of my tools, because it's a very, very old tool. It's been around for a long time. It's done a lot of work. It knows certain things, and when I'm using it, it tells me them. If I'm not touching it, it's just a dead piece of wood and a piece of iron. Something about it, then when I pick it up, it just starts telling me things, and I don't know if it's imbued with magic. It might be. Or it's got a ghost in it. I don't know. I've heard about things like that. For those of you that know, we're actually still in the safety meeting aspect of this. Okay, I'm going to show you a secret thing, only because here's the reason. Normally I wouldn't tell anybody this or show anybody these things, but we're friends. We're friends, and so I'm going to show you this secret place. Deep in here. I haven't fully broken in to it because this rock is very difficult, but I think that I bashed a seam into it right here, and I think that there's a seam right here, and I'll be able to get this piece out, and then who knows what's going on behind that. There's some interesting mineralization occurring in that particular rock right above in that area. So